Hello everyone and welcome to week 9 of the UBLN. We are here, your New York Empoleons, are doing pretty well in this league. Got some work in front of us though for a few more weeks of the season. Now, just a heads up, starting in week 10, we're actually going to be having a lot of battles. Like, you guys won't see it this way, but just for your information, a lot of battles really rapid fire. So if the rest of the season goes a little bit more poorly, it's because I am rushing my team building. I'm going away from April 30th to May 11th, which you may note is like the days those battles are being uploaded. And which that means that we have to make sure those battles are done before that. And so I'm actually going to be doing 5 battles in 2 weeks just for the UBLN, plus my 2 battles for the TBL. There is a bye week in the TBL the week that I'm going to be away. But all of that to say, hopefully everything goes well and I keep all my teams straight and I keep all my sets straight and I keep everything good, but there's a chance that this goes horribly wrong, so we'll see. But anyway, we're going to get started here with our team builder, not waste any more of your time. We are going to be playing the San Antonio Snorlax, and we are going to be seeing him with a Starmie, Sylveon, Incineroar, Roserade, Palisand, Rhydon, Dragonite, Sneasel, Manectric, Azelf, and Mega Scizor. A lot of threats on this team, a lot to worry about. Now we are going to start out with Exploud King DDD with Icium Z. It's going to be soundproof because, again, Palisand bothers me less than Sylveon, to be honest. So I'm not worried about Scrappy, and I do have the Ice Beam for it anyway. Boom Burst, Ice Beam, Flamethrower, and Substitute. I was trying to put a 4th move on here, and I really couldn't think of anything else I'd want to put on that was a special move, and I didn't want to make it not a modest nature. I didn't want to have to lower a defense. So I was like, what move could I possibly want on here? And I couldn't think of a single thing. So I just decided, you know what, Tech Substitute. You know, whatever. We'll just see what happens with it. I might get a chance to set it up. I might not. Either way, it's, you know, I'm not going to be wanting for a 4th move in there. Surf was the only other one that came to mind, but with ICMZ, Surf wasn't necessary. And I figured maybe setting up a substitute on something like a Force Switch on the Sylveon, if it's specced into Hyper Voice or something, might be pretty useful. Now, Boom Burst handles most of his team. Ice Beam and ICMZ handles the rest of it, so everything that doesn't necessarily die to Boom Burst does die to an ICMZ, with the one exception of Mega Scizor, which is why I have the Flamethrower. And Max Special Attack, Modest Nature, I mean, let's let this thing run rampant. It's going to have a lot of fun this week. 212 speed gives a speed set of 115, which is really fast for an Exploud, but it needed to be that way in order to have the sticky webs be as effective as they could be. Now, Mega Beedrill Bedazzled is going to be coming with Poison Jab, U-Turn, Tailwind, and Drill Run. It is going to be max attack, but jolly with 124 speed, which allows to outspeed everything on his team and outspeed a Choice Scarfed Dragonite, just in case. I don't expect him to run Choice Scarfed Dragonite. I expect him to run Choice Banded Dragonite, but I did want to make sure I outsped that just in case he did decide to run it. I couldn't outspeed anything faster than that was Scarfed, so it didn't really matter to me. But Poison Jab, obviously handling, it just does so much damage, but handles the Sylveon. U-Turn handles most of the rest of his team, and then Drill Run is there for the Incineroar, for the Manectric, and it hits the Mega Scizor a little bit harder. Now, Tailwind will help the Exploud as well. It's more of team support than anything else. It's not really supporting the Mega Beedrill itself, but Tailwind then U-Turn into something else gives me a chance to get something else in there with a couple of turns really fast, which is really nice. Next up, we have Shelter the Tapu Fini with the Expert Belt, Waterfall, Ice Punch, Knockoff, Smart Strike, Max Attack, Adamant Tapu Fini. Yes, this thing is gonna be interesting. I've never used a physical Fini before, at least not fully physical. I've used Knockoff as a tech move, but this is a fully physical Fini, and try saying that 5 times fast. And Waterfall does about as much damage as Surf would. I mean, obviously I'm coming in with a base 75 attack instead of base 95 special attack. Ice Punch is not quite as strong as Ice Beam, but the real big one here is that I have Smart Strike for the Sylveon, which 2-hit KOs it, and that his team is much more specially defensive in Palisand and Sylveon than it is physically defensive, and so I decided I was going to go with the physical set on the Tapu Fini, which he will never see coming. But Knockoff hits the Palisand super hard, it hits the Starmie super hard, things that would otherwise be pretty good counters to it. Why did you do that? My computer's made a noise. Anyway, so things that would otherwise be pretty good counters to it, but this is probably one of the strangest things I've ever done in League format, so we're going to see how this one goes. Next up, we have Spider the Galvantula holding a Focus Sash once again, like I ran last week. Bug Buzz, Energy Ball, Sticky Web, Hidden Power, Fire. This is level 100 because of the Hidden Power, just because, again, I wanted it to be Hyper Trained when it was genned, and that way it allowed it to do that. So we'll bring it back to 50, and so you guys can see 236 speed, 252 special attack with a modest nature. No electric coverage this week because he has the only things that are weak to electric in Starmie is also weak to bug. So that was fine. And Bug Buzz did more damage to other things on his team, like the Sneasel. So I decided to go with that. Energy Ball handles the Rhydon, which could otherwise hard wall me, and Mega Scizor handles, or Hidden Power Fire handles Mega Scizor, which could otherwise hard wall me as well. So that is the set we're running here. Sticky Web's obviously a very good thing for my team. TSA, the Dusknoir rocking the Rocky Helmet with Frisk, Ice Punch, Shadow Sneak, Pain Split, and Power Up Punch. This thing is crazy EV'd, but let's just start going into it. So it is max defense with a impish nature, but a bunch of special defense and a bunch of HP. A little bit of speed in case he decides to speed creep me with something. Something specifically like the Rhydon. It's really all that's for. Now, Power Up Punch is just such an interesting move on Dusknoir, and I have a feeling I'm going to run it a couple more times this season because it handles things. I mean, it handles the Incineroar. Like, it doesn't kill it, but it does damage to it, and it gives me the +1. The Rhydon, which would otherwise be a pretty decent switch in. Power Up Punch plus Ice Punch. I mean, once you get to +1, I mean, +1 Shadow Sneaks are doing so much damage. They're OHKOing itself. They're doing a ton to Mega Scizor. Like, that's a crazy set. So Pain Split is there to give me some HP back, but otherwise, I mean, this thing is just set a Power Up Punch, Shadow Sneak away for a little while and see what happens. And then Pain Split is obviously there to do some extra damage and recover me back. And lastly, we have Mew. We have Leftovers holding Transform, Overheat, Stealth Rock, and Roost Mew. It is a bold nature, 100 defense, 244 HP for the Roost, and then 148 speed to outspeed everything on his team after Sticky Webs. And Overheat is there for the Mega Scizor, it's there for the Sneasel, it's there for the Roserade, and otherwise I am transforming. I'm going to get the rocks up, and then I'm going to take over whatever Pokemon he has, and if their webs are up, then I mean, I'll take on their speed stat and everything, but still, I get leftovers, you know, which is super nice, and I get to see his set, which is super nice. I haven't run Transform Mew yet this season. It'll be super interesting. I have no idea how this is going to go, but I'm really excited to use this. I want to see how it works. So hopefully everyone enjoys this battle. It's going to be a wild one. I don't know how this is going to go, but thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow with that battle. And just a reminder that the remainder of the battles will probably be done in the next like week or so. So I won't be like going back and talking about the prior battles because I won't have done them yet necessarily, because the order is going to be out of whack as well. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Take care, everybody.